there was like this random guy who was trying to give like little cards for like Jesus, and I didn't hear a word he said, and I was just like, no, thank you, I'm not hungry.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, and the guy's face was so confused because
I didn't know what he was giving, so I just didn't know what to say, and that came out.
No, my favorite part was
then, like,
we were joking.
But I didn't really.
Yeah. We were joking, like, if he was cosplaying as Jesus, I might have considered it.
Oh yeah, I would have 100% taken whatever he was giving
but
me.
Then there was but then later on there was a Jesus cosplayer that got sent away because he got in the wrong line.
Yeah, he was trying to. He wasn't trying to cut the line. It's just where he was coming from. It was very deceiving that I was like, oh, the line's not that short. Just kidding.
But then also, what was funny was during the line, because they had the people like giving instructions, they would kind of walk around this open queue in the middle. Mm-hmm. At one point in the middle of it, this guy, like cosplayer, crashed the line, dressed as Freddie Mercury, just screaming into a megaphone, "God save the Queen." And I just remember
just usual con behavior in all honesty.
Oh, but the best part was everyone thought he was staff, and they were like listening intently. And Hey guys, I'm Bill, a one-time Instagram blogger and now a podcaster.
And I'm Alex, the chaotic neutral.
And together we are the Gaming and Collecting Podcast,
a brother-sister duo
that talks about gaming.
And also anime.
And don't forget the collecting, sometimes.
Ah, forget it. We're just a nostalgia podcast at this point.
But anyways, guys, thanks for joining us as we discuss the games that shaped us. So, how you been?
I was saying, this is like the old days of our podcast where we would record every Friday.
Yeah, from different houses.
Yep.
Although instead of...
And now we're back to where we started.
Yeah, although instead of different streets, instead of different like states, we're across the streets. So
I know. It's very nice having your brother live across the street from you, and then having him buy Panera, and then just terrorizing him in his house. It's great.
Freaking styrofoam, getting shit everywhere.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Right.
I did it. I swear. What else did I do that was annoying? Oh yeah, I just kept going like, oh yo, like me. Being annoying.
Yeah.
It's my job to annoy you. Now I have to annoy you at work too.
Yeah, work. Work sucked this week.
I feel like it went by very slow this week.
That's the thing. Like, it wasn't even bad. It was just so slow this week.
It was so, yeah. It literally felt... Monday felt like Wednesday to me, and I was like, it is Monday. This sucks.
Yeah. It didn't help, too, that... You notice we're recording on Friday. Our normal day is a Tuesday. It's because it fucking downpoured almost every day this week.
Yeah, we've been getting so much rain down here. And, like, not where we are, but, like, up in Mass, there was even, like, tornado warnings yesterday, which was pretty insane.
There's parts of Vermont that are underwater right now because it's...
Like, it's nuts. Just the weather and everything. It's nuts.
Insane because other parts of the country are going through, like, droughts right now and are, like, overheating. But, like, we're just getting fucking pounded with rain
It was really hot today, too. Yep. That's the thing, too. We're, like, getting, like, tons of rain, but it's also very hot out and super humid. And it's just, it's been terrible recently.
I had a thought about something that I just thought of, though. You know that pile of rocks that was dumped in front of our, like, road into our complex? Yeah. I don't think that was dumped. I think that's just from all the rain. It washed down the hill, and it just ended up there.
Oh, that actually makes so much sense. Yeah, it probably was on someone's yard or something. And it just...
Well, because it's moving farther down with all the more rain. So it's like, I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think it was dumped. I think it just, weather pushed it there.
Woo.
Yeah. So
crazy.
It's been raining.
Yeah, we've been in a typhoon, and no,
it's felt like it. Has, like yesterday driving home, it felt like a typhoon.
It's been crazy, but we're here. I've been working out really consistently, and my arm hurts. But I guess it's because, like, you're training new muscles and stuff.
I've been working on my house because
I know you built two.
3
What's
now
it called? 3.
CD shelves.
Yeah, I actually have. Our mother got me this nice cabinet, um, cabinet thingy for my kitchen, so I'll build that tomorrow. I just didn't feel like building it
I've
today. I was like,
I've built
meh.
so many different things this month alone, like tables, chairs, like benches, like couches. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Moving.
You know what?
It's all part
The
of it.
building's not the real problem. It's all the cardboard, styrofoam. The
Oh yeah.
styrofoam in particular drives me nuts because it's like you can't like throw it away properly. It just kind of it takes up so much space and it just ugh.
Oh yeah. I know. Like when I got a new. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did. I ended up purchasing a new mattress, which I needed a new bed frame because I was going from a full to a king. I was saying, you know what? Fuck it. If I'm getting a bigger bed, I might as well go all the way and get a king. And it's huge. It's really big, but it's really nice. And I bouged out and I got a Tempur-Pedic. But not only a Tempur-Pedic, I got one of those ones that has like the platforms that moves. So like it can adjust and sit up or raise your feet or do like this funky zero gravity thing that's really comfortable. But it's been great. But what I was gonna say is the bed frame contains so much freaking styrofoam. There was so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I literally filled up 4 bags of
Mm-hmm.
styrofoam. 4 trash bags with just styrofoam on the bed frame. But the bed frame does look really nice, so I guess it was
So
worth it.
you
I also have a new podcast set up. I forgot to mention that too.
same. Although this is like
Yeah,
the 5th
like
podcast I've recorded on it now.
yeah. Well, this is like I don't know. For me, this is I think the second or
I
third.
think the
But I
second
got
because
a new.
we've only done one before since the
Yeah,
move.
yeah. I got a new desk. I got one of those ones that it's like an adjustable standing desk. Which is really nice. And I also got this nice new chair. I think I mentioned the chair because it has a footrest. It's really comfortable. And it's just a much more comfortable chair. So it's gonna make podcasting and maybe streaming or something someday a lot easier. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of cool
I
stuff.
actually have a
Oh,
desk.
and I got a new lamp.
I
What?
said I actually have a desk now.
I know Bill's not sitting with his little TV dinner table anymore.
In a recliner with like
In a
a mic
recliner.
stand propped. It was bad. The first 2 seasons of this podcast had the most jank setups recordings, by the way, and
Yeah. And now
parts
we
of
both
season 3.
finally have really. I mean, mine was a little. I won't lie, mine was always a little better than yours. But you know, now I have an even better one, and it's gonna be great for like gaming or just whenever I need to use my computer. I do want to eventually upgrade to dual monitors at some point, but it's not a necessary thing right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But I got a new desk, and it's really comfy. Oh, and it has one of those like little mini tables that's underneath it that you put the keyboard on, so you sit like at an ergonomic distance. I'm being ergonomic. Ergonomic,
Sounds fun.
bitch.
You know what the downside though to having so much space?
You know what?
What, Randy?
Fuck you! I don't sound like that.
Now you know what the
You want to eat some cream? No, you're not the cream of the crop. You're the poof of the crop.
anyways. So you know what the
No,
you know what the downside to
no.
to having all this space is now.
What? You could fill it with more
Yeah.
crap?
Like I now that I have room for all my stuff and it's not like in storage anymore, like I have my CD collection back and I'm looking, I'm like, I miss collecting CDs. And I'm like, but then I'm like,
I know. I actually, when I was eating dinner, I noticed you had CDs on your
so
counter, but I didn't say anything.
I'm not going crazy anymore, but I had a few like collections that I fell behind on because I wasn't collecting. So I just want to fill in some gaps. That's about it.
Okay. I
Mostly
see.
just
Well,
catch
I
up.
guess I can't deny. I can't like. I can't really say anything since in my Amazon cart I have all of Doro Hidoro
Well, that's different. That's manga.
in there. Yeah, but it's still collecting. It's still like over. I think it's around $200 worth of manga, but like it's on sale right now. Like the price is like for the full set. It's like the price is marked down significantly from what it usually is. So I'm gonna get it.
I finished collecting Black Clover.
Black Clover. Well, you're caught
Well,
up
yeah,
with
with where
collecting Black
it's
Clover.
currently up to.
Just like I am caught up with the Piece of Ones.
Yep. Until they release the next collection.
Shh. Oh, I'm also got a new cart. Not cart. What is it called? Shelf thing for my what's it called in my Amazon cart too, so I can put all the manga on.
Yes. Yeah, but speaking of collecting, we went to a place over the last weekend that has a lot of collecting involved.
Wait, before we get started, what are you drinking?
Right now, I am drinking a Powder Hollow Brewery Pink Guava Passion Fruit Sour.
But is that like a beer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't. That was so many words. I was like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a
what
lot
that
of words. I
means.
grabbed it randomly because I just like to do that sometimes. I just grab something without looking at it and just go with it.
All right. Follow up question. Was it a mistake?
No, it's not bad.
Okay. Aren't you gonna ask me what I am drinking? And it's not cream. Fuck off, everyone.
What are you drinking, Randy?
No! I don't sound like that! He's copying me!
All right.
He's the
What are you
copycat!
drinking?
I'm drinking an Angry Orchard! The green apple
Perfectly
kind.
fitting.
What? How was that fitting?
I'm not even going to go farther.
No! Speak!
So, we went to a convention over the weekend.
No, you didn't go further!
I've already stopped caring about that. No one buys your crocodile tears at this point.
They're not crocodile tears.
You're...
They're alligator tears, you insensitive butthole.
Did you just call me insectatives?
I said insensitive butthole.
Whatever.
No, eat your beans.
Anyway, so we went to a convention.
Eat your beans.
We went to a convention over the weekend.
No.
Oh, you didn't go? Okay, I guess I was hanging out with strangers then.
Shit, never mind. I did go, but I didn't go with Bill. We went separately.
Oh, so you just walked there, I guess.
I drove
No, you didn't.
my flying car.
And Alex did a line of crack before we started this.
This is what happens when we record on Friday. I lose my mind. It's been a long
thunderstorms happened, but anyways, so we went back to Connecticon for the first time since 2021. We didn't go last year because logistics just weren't in our favor, but we decided to go again this year.
I think I was moving, right?
No,
Wasn't
it was
Jen
just
moving?
it was in the middle of like you were house hunting still, and because you remember.
I honestly think we forgot.
Well, it was that, and we just had a lot of shit in our minds because you remember we moved going to Retro World.
Yep, you're right.
But yeah, so we went to Connecticon again, and it was fun overall. I'll say we actually went both days this time for like the first time.
We went Saturday, Sunday because it was technically Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Which I don't know how some people go every single day because like it's a lot just for 2 days.
They either have a lot of expendable income or they literally don't do anything else.
Well, I feel like too that's probably why we're tired this week.
Yes.
Because like it was a fun weekend, but it was a long weekend, and like we didn't really get any like recovery from work time.
Yeah. But yeah, that was interesting though. Going both days, we actually one of the reasons we went both days is because we had a friend come up for the weekend. Sunny. and she went with us for the Sunday.
Yeah.
So we decided to go both days, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely had to plan my budget a bit better this year. I spent way too much money though at this convention.
I did as well.
Was it
I
worth,
think we both did. We're both
was it
guilty.
worth it though?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love everything that I got. So it was definitely worth it. But I guess we can start by just talking. I guess talking through our day. Well, or actually, I can talk about. I cosplayed on both days, which I've only really ever cosplayed for one day. Um, because we've only really gone one day. So I was like, you know what, we're going 2 days. I'm making 2 cosplays. And oh my god, making one is hard enough. Making two, oh my god, even harder. But it was fun. So I went as 2 One Piece characters. I
Shocker.
know, you're all very surprised. I went as Luffy and I went as red haired Shanks. It's funny because I was planning the Shanks cosplay for a lot longer, but I think the Luffy cosplay came out so much better and it was literally thrown together last minute. So that's just how the world works, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty fun. With like the Luffy one, I ended up it was actually funny. Bill made we did the anime roundtable not that long ago, and I, as joke, pulled out my Luffy straw hat during it when I said it was my number one, and everyone was joking. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're cosplaying," and I was like, "I am," because I was wearing a red jacket while we were filming, and then it was in my head where I was like, "Oh, I could do 2 cosplays," and I was like, "Oh, I have a red jacket, I have a Luffy hat, I could buy jean shorts." I'm gonna be Luffy, and it turned out really good. So I was pretty happy with both my cosplays. Peep on my Instagram for photos if you want to see. But yeah, so and I'm planning on doing some more like creative cosplays in the future. And I have some good ideas because now that Bill's moved out, I'm gonna turn that into a craft room, well, guest room / craft room.
Yep.
Sorry, you're banned.
Okay. But yeah, so day one, like, so our first day, I remember because we actually went to breakfast with our mother in the morning before we went up.
Yeah, which was very sweet of her to come up. Went to our local place and then came back. I was getting ready, doing my makeup, doing my hair. I had a wig, so that was a
Me
struggle.
and my mother were assembling a
Um,
fireplace.
yeah. Um, and then we headed out and like realized that like even though I'm a little farther from Hartford now, I'm still very
Yeah,
close
we
to
both
it.
live literally
And if
20 minutes away from the Connecticut Convention Center, which is so nice during conventions.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be really nice too, because like the dance competition I'm gonna do is also, I believe, held there. So, boom, gonna be easy. But yeah. So it was literally 20-minute drive. We got there, and we made a fatal mistake when we got there. We did not take a picture of where we were
Oh yeah, we
parked.
forgot to mark where we were in the parking garage because we had to park because we got there. So the convention opened at 9. We didn't get there till like 10ish because we figured
Yeah.
the hall doesn't open till 11, so we weren't going to waste time doing nothing. And
Yeah.
that was also a fatal mistake because the line.
Honestly, though, like I feel like people were complaining a little too much.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, like, yes, it was a long line, but it's also like you need to factor in that like anime, gaming, all things Comic Con related is so popular right now. It's not a surprise it was that busy.
oh, it's not the fact that it
Like
was
it's
busy. I just think we underestimated because we thought coming later would be smarter, and in reality, it was we actually showed up at peak like arrival time.
yeah. So we did, but honestly, I really don't think we were I mean, we were in the line for an hour, but like it could have been so much worse. Like I think people were
I
being
didn't
a little
mind waiting. I
dramatic.
got more annoyed with just like my problem with waiting in long lines like that is like people have the
The gappers. Also, just the audacity of people just trying to cut you in
oh yeah, we'll
line.
get to day two. We'll get to day two. We'll get to day
Yeah.
two.
Like I'm just like, what?
No, day one actually wasn't bad though, because we befriended these two guys in line that were cosplayers.
Oh, they were cosplaying as
Team Fortress 2
I believe.
characters, and I remember because
And
we just shot the shit with them the entire time, just made fun of everything going around.
Well, it was funny because they were it was their first time going to Connecticon, so they were like asking some questions, and we were just like, oh yeah, we went like a year ago, and like blah 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 blah.
But
I did, and they were really nice and like really great cosplays too. Like one of the guys, both of them were in like
wool
heavy
coats in the middle of summer.
I know, and
Oh.
it was like, I mean, thankfully, like the weekend was not one of the hottest days. It wasn't. I mean, it got hot in there, but like it could have been so like if it was today, it would have been a
Oh
nightmare.
yeah, that would have been bad.
Like, so we lucked out with that. But they were really cool and chill, and like it was like honestly like that. I feel like that probably added to like why the line didn't feel that long because we were just having a good time.
Well, we were laughing about
us.
all the like hilarious con things. Like you have the lady trying to guide people through the line, like telling you all the information. We were like joking, like everyone's gonna forget this in like literally 3 seconds and get to the front of the line and be like, I don't know what to do, because that's just what people do.
But they really did actually like how they had everyone queued out and everything. It actually was a really good system.
Once you got to the actual building, like it was seamless. Like the biggest problem with waiting in the queue was like people would go on their phones, not pay attention, the line would gap, and then you'd have to like, because there'd be like points where like it felt like we hadn't moved for like hours, and then all of a sudden it would just be a massive shift forward.
But that's also kind of with how that building is set up and where they have you queued. They have you queued in the parking garage, but then to get into the building, you actually have to go across a crosswalk. It's in the garage connected to the building, but it's basically like a through street for like buses and stuff to go and drop people off. So, but you have to cross there, but they can't just have an endless flow of people going that way, or else it will like be like cars won't be able to get by. So that's kind of why it would also queue into big sections, because it was just that's how it worked.
So the way it was laid out was you had the main section, then you had there was the queue, and the queue was like these two like kind of squiggles of just like of line, and then a third queue had to be formed because so many people were there, which was nuts. Because I remember we were watching back and we were like, holy shit, I guess we weren't that bad off.
Yeah. And especially comparing it to like when we last went, it was very different. But we made
and then there was the guy. Oh no, we forgot about the guy that was trying to sell us Jesus.
Oh my god, yeah. The guy, there was like this random guy who was trying to give like little cards for like Jesus. And I didn't hear a word he said, and I was just like, no thank you, I'm not hungry.
Yeah. I remember hearing that, and the guy's face was so confused.
I didn't know what he was giving, so I just didn't know what to say. And that came out.
No, my favorite part was then, like, we were joking.
But I didn't really.
Yeah. We were joking, like, if he was cosplaying as Jesus, I might have considered it.
Oh yeah, I would have 100% taken whatever he was giving
but
me.
Then there was but then later on there was a Jesus cosplayer that got sent away because he got in the wrong line.
Yeah, he was trying to. He wasn't trying to cut the line. It's just where he was coming from. It was very deceiving that I was like, oh, the line's not that short. Just kidding.
But then also, what was funny was during the line, because they had the people like giving instructions, they would kind of walk around this open queue in the middle. Mm-hmm. At one point in the middle of it, this guy, like cosplayer, crashed the line, dressed as Freddie Mercury, just screaming into a megaphone, "God save the Queen." And I just remember
just usual con behavior and
but the best part was everyone thought he was staff and they were like listening intently, and it was a Freddie Mercury cosplayer.
Hey, Connecticon, am I right?
I know. I just remember thinking I was like thinking like, what the fuck does God Save the Queen have to do with anything? And then I looked over, I'm like, wait, that's Freddie Mercury. I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Oh, we also have to bring up the donuts.
Oh yeah, some guy left donuts there in the queue.
Yeah, some guy left a box of donuts, and I kept going, Bill, free snack, donuts.
Those were sitting on the ground.
Like, they look not the first day. So they were there both days, but the first day they were like propped up on somewhere, and I was like, Bill, take a donut, and he was like, I'm not.
Nobody around us was inclined to grab the donuts.
I mean, I bet someone took one. It might have been a dare, but I bet someone eventually did. But we made it through the line and we got our badges, which was so easy. It was actually a very easy process. And then we were in. And then the first thing that happens to me is I see, well, Bill abandons
Because
me
I had to pee really bad.
Bill had to pee, so I'm just like standing down, like
No. You're
looking for
thinking of
him.
second day. I did not leave you the first day because we both went
Oh,
up.
okay, never mind. So we walk. All right, I am thinking the second day. So literally the first person to walk up to me is someone also dressed as Luffy. And the first thing they don't say a word to me. They just stare at me, walk over, and I go, "Hey, nice cosplay," thinking like, "Oh, we're both Luffy. That's hilarious." And then he just gives me one of those stretchy hands
that are
that
perpetually
like
stuck to
people.
ceilings, you know.
Yeah, you whip at things and hit people with, and like just walks away. And I said, "Oh, this is gonna be a good day." So then I proceeded to just hit Bill with it for the rest of the day, which he enjoyed tremendously. Right?
Yeah, I had fun like getting it stuck on things and you being like, no, don't rip it.
No. No, it wasn't stuck. You would grab it and be like, "Enough," and I would say, "No, don't rip it," and then I eventually would do it again.
Yeah,
because I can't.
So day one was very much just shopping day for us.
Yeah, shopping day, and then I took some pictures in my cosplay. It was super crowded, but
Well, I mean,
honestly,
it wasn't
like
anime Boston levels of crowded, but it was still pretty packed.
yeah,
I don't think
it was still pretty.
I was gonna say I don't think it was the so much it was overcrowded. I just think the way the space was laid out wasn't particularly as optimized as possible.
Yeah, but I also didn't think it was. We've definitely been. Nothing can beat anime Boston's level of terrible.
Well, that was
I
just
guess.
too many people in one space.
Yeah.
This was more like the way the vendor hall was set up was like it was like kind of like art was all on one side and then like everything else was on the other, and they space.
But it also wasn't though, because there was some just in random.
Well, yeah, but the majority of the artist alley
yeah.
was on one side. The problem was though they like crammed artist like booths like way too close together, and then everything else was kind of spread apart. So like the section where most people were trying to walk through was super packed, and like you had to like squeeze your way through. Or sometimes you just get forced along one way because that's just where the crowd was going.
Yeah, and then I'd turn around and be like, "Bill."
Well, yeah, because you'd be looking at a booth and I'd be trying to stop and wait for you, and the next thing I know, I'm getting forced down this line. I'm like,
or vice versa.
Yeah.
Also, there was a hentai booth.
Oh yeah, the porn booth. That was great.
There was just a straight up porn booth, and there was children there, and
nothing was shown.
They censored some. They did, but it was still pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like it was still pretty obvious and bad.
Those girls were still naked. You just didn't see anything.
Oh God!
My favorite though of that booth was it was a booth split between it had hentai manga and hentai Blu-rays, and my favorite.
And Bill bought 11 of them.
No, I didn't.
Right?
Why would I pay for something I can get for free on the internet?
Because you're a weirdo.
Anyways, so there was
he didn't buy.
There was a point
I would have shamed him if.
Well, there was a point where Alex was looking at a booth that was directly across from it, and I was like, all right, I need to stare at something while I wait for her. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna look at the hentai booth. So I like looked over at the Blu-rays thinking,
I'm not gonna look at the hentai booth. Wink, wink. No,
my thought process was I didn't realize they were the same booth. So I saw the Blu-rays and I was like, oh, Blu-ray, anime Blu-rays. I'll look at those. And I walk over and I just see big titties and I'm like, no.
I won't lie. I also walked over thinking the same thing, looked at the Blu-rays and then went, no, it's porn. No!
I took one look, kind of eyed the vendor guy and I just went, sorry, nope. And just walked off.
My goal was like, I'm still trying to find the Haikyuu Blu-rays. And I was like, oh, Blu-rays. And then I went, oh, no.
You went, ooh, Blu-rays, and you saw a lot more than you wanted to see.
I was like, no. But, you know.
Yeah, I was straight up like, oh, these are the same vendor. I'm going to walk away now.
Run. Sprint. It was very, I will say it was very anime-centric.
Yeah, for a pop culture convention, there wasn't a lot of pop culture.
I mean, like, I think the cosplays were pretty.
Day 2, definitely. Day 1 was very anime heavy.
Yeah, there was, but I think a lot of it had to do with like so like they do one thing at Connecticon that's pretty big is the cosplay meetups. So they do them with like a bunch of fandoms. They'll schedule them, and they do a lot of like fan photos, which is a really fun, and I think it's like one thing that makes like Connecticon really fun for people.
Hmm.
Um I wanted to do the One Piece one, but Bill wasn't feeling great, so we ended up leaving a little earlier, but that's okay. But I think it's a big one, but a lot of the anime centric ones were on day 3 of the con, which it made sense because it was one of the really big fandoms like One Piece, I believe Dragon Ball, Naruto, um there was even a Black Clover had one, which I have to say that Asta cosplayer was amazing.
Hmm.
He was like it was so good. I think JoJo's was today too cuz there were some really good JoJo's cosplayers as well. So I think it was very anime centric because a lot of the anime meetup photos were on day 3, Saturday.
Yeah, it was very. It was like a very kind of mixed kind of thing. Like there was like some. Like you'd see like a bunch of like non-anime, but there was a very large wave of anime. Saw a lot of Inuyasha cosplayers, which was surprising to me.
Yeah, that Kagome was so adorable and like so pretty.
Mm.
It was like it wasn't like one of those ones that like you could clearly tell someone bought it. Like she
Yeah, that was it.
handmade
Was
that
very well
cosplay.
made.
Um and it was so
It
pretty.
was also the manga shade of green, not the anime shade of green, which was a nice touch.
Yeah. There was a lot of really good ones.
There was a Sashomaru who was buying Sashomaru plushies. That was funny. Yeah,
there was a couple
walking
Inuyashas
around.
too. And there was quite, I mean, there was a lot of One Piece cosplayers too that day because it was the One Piece photo shoot that day. I saw quite a few Luffy's, but I gotta say, I think I had a really good Luffy cosplay. I won't lie. And yeah, I mean, day one was fun. We did a bunch of shopping.
Not a lot of gaming content because I was on a hunt for game stuff, and there was only like 2 booths, and I only ended up buying like 2 games. I bought the DS version of Rhapsody, a musical adventure, and I bought Ever Oasis for the 3DS. So that was like my only 2 real gaming finds, just because there really wasn't a whole lot, and what they had was either overpriced or it was all stuff I already had.
Yeah.
I did buy something from
really
State
wasn't.
Line's booth though, just because they're the local guys.
Nice. Yeah, it very much was. I know, like I got 3 posters. I got 2 figures and I got a keychain and a pin. The 2 figures I got a Bartolomeo figure, which I was so excited about because he's literally my favorite.
And you've been looking for one of those
figures
figures forever.
I've been looking for one forever, and it was the One Piece Red design, which is one of my favorite One Piece movies. So I was pretty excited about that.
Is he even in that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he is. That's right. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, remember the scene where he like uses his barrier.
Yep, I remember.
And they're in a ball, and Luffy is like about to barf.
I remember.
As they're rolling down a hill. I rewatched it recently, so yeah, I got one, and then I got a Star Platinum Jotaro stand.
Oh yeah, that was your
really nice.
That was your guilt purchase because you were like, I can't afford this, but I'm buying it anyways.
It was. I mean, it's not my most expensive JoJo figure, but it was. I think around $130. So it was expensive, but it's super nice. And it's really well made.
Yeah, that sounds like the Tifa figure I bought. Which I found out, unfortunately, was opposable after I bought it, and I was like, but whatever.
Yeah. That's one of the things with JoJo figures that's really hard, too, is a lot of them are posable, which I get, because the show is very much posing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of the big quirks of the show. But I don't know, I just kind of prefer... because I won't repose
Well, then
them,
I just think the joints look ugly.
Yeah, and I don't love that either.
I will say, though...
But I get the appeal. I understand the appeal, but it's not for me.
did find another figure, though. And I guess we should talk about my running joke anytime we go figure shopping or just anywhere.
Useless me.
I've been making this joke because we watched Jujutsu Kaisen recently, and I did enjoy it.
And Bill loved it. Season 2 is out. We gotta watch it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it didn't make my top 25 list, but...
How fucking.
Hey, Black Clover made that list.
Okay, all right.
Jujutsu Kaisen though, season 2 it might bump it up though. You never know. But I did enjoy that thing. But I've had this running joke because I've been looking through the Jujutsu Kaisen figures because they have a lot of them. And one of my running jokes has always been like, what is up with the useless Miwa slander? Why does she not get any figures or any merch at all? And I was making this joke because I did have a useless Miwa figure before this that I bought from Japan, imported over. But there's another one that finally came out over here, and I was joking the entire convention, like, what is with this slander? And then we walked past a booth that had it right out center.
Yep.
And I was just like, well, I've made this joke the entire convention. I have to buy it now.
Yeah.
And then there was a Miwa cosplayer, like literally right there too. It was.
I know, like literally right after you bought it, it was like Miwa. There was actually a lot of really good. I'd have to say the caliber of cosplays was really good too. I don't think anyone had a bad cosplay. Because there was another one from Jujutsu Kaisen, which was, I believe, Toji, Fushiguro's father. And they were spot on. Like, it was a really good spot on cosplay. So, I'm really looking forward to season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
There was a good amount of like different variety of animes this year, but I will say the two biggest represented animes that we saw were Spy Family and Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah,
the entire cast of Chainsaw Man walked by at one point, and oh my god, I laughed so hard because it was literally like so the funny part, it was a Denji cosplayer who was like in the full chainsaw getup. He was just chilling there, and like he got noticed by this entire troupe of cosplayers from the show. And they were like, dude, we need a photo. And I look over and it was a Makima walk by, followed by a Power, followed by a what's blue hair guy's name?
Is it Aki?
And then a Kobeni afterwards, and they were all in different like get-ups from the manga. A lot of them were super spoilery too, because I saw that and I was like, oh, that is a massive spoiler.
Oh no. There was a lot of Chainsaw Man, but I mean, hey, we both admitted it on the anime, our top 25 anime. Like, Chainsaw Man's really good, and it deserves all the hype.
That was my favorite part, though, was almost every Makima cosplayer I saw was like a massive spoiler. I was like, good thing, like, out of context, this makes no sense, because like I was like sitting here thinking like, this is a huge plot thing. I'm not going to say what it is, but for people who haven't read, but yeah, they was like, whoa, that's a giveaway.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot, but they were all really good. I think everyone had a really good cosplay. What were some of the other things you got besides the video games?
I bought art.
In the figures.
I bought the art and the figures and the games. I also bought a bunch of keychains because I really like keychains.
I got a keychain this year too. Well, I found this art booth that was actually one of my like newly favorite series. I really love Dorohedoro. That's why I'm buying all the manga so I can continue reading it. But I saw this art booth and I was like, oh, that's Dorohedoro art. So I go through and I was like, oh my god. So they had these awesome. I got 2 posters for Dorohedoro, but I also got a keychain, which I think the keychain is probably my favorite thing that I got. It was a keychain of one of the things in the show is the Gyoza fairy, which is just this fairy that is gyoza.
Yes.
And I mean, I fucking love gyoza. I'm sure you do too, and it's a big part of the show. So gyoza fairy, and I love that keychain. It's on my work bag, and people keep asking me about it. I'm like, it's the gyoza fairy, and they're just like, what? And I'm like, it's the gyoza fairy, and I just walk away. No explanation.
So I have a.
If you don't know, you won't care.
I have a work desk at work, like my desk where I keep all my tools and stuff.
Excuse me. I think you mean weeb desk.
It's actually not as weeby. It's only the back wall that's weeby. Because I have.
It's pretty fucking weeby, Bill.
What you mean? My back? Oh yeah, I do have I have a lot of keychains on it.
It's pretty weeby, Bill. You can't say it's not that weeby.
I don't have any fucking figures on my desk. All right.
Yet.
I don't want them to get ruined.
Yet.
No, but I've been.
They're gonna be there soon.
I have an open.
missed you.
I have like this open like back wall that has like nothing on it, so I've been slowly turning it into. I've been jokingly calling it the waifu wall. Well, that's what it is at this point. Because I just get
Yeah, and you say it's not weeby. You called it the waifu wall.
I've seen worse. That's why I don't call it that weeby.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely worse, but it's pretty weeby.
Well, no, my whole goal is like I'll get like these keychains at the conventions of like the characters, and then I just put them on my back wall. So I just have a whole bunch of them like up there now. And
Yep,
I got a whole
hanging.
I got a whole bunch this time. Like I got all the girls from Kaguya-sama. I got a couple of yours.
Love is war.
I got a Botan. I found a Botan keychain.
Bobo. There was actually some I don't know if they were there the days we did, but I joined like this Facebook group where people were just posting their photos from the con. And there was a Bobo cosplayer, as well as a lot of actually Yu Yu Hakusho cosplayers. So it's pretty nice.
Another
Oh, it was Bobo, and then she had like a baby, and the baby was dressed up as Koenma, and it was so cute. It was so adorable.
That's funny.
Anyways,
another thing I got too was I like little like goofy art too, and I found this guy who was making pixel art, and I got this. It's like this little 3D pixel art thing of Kefka from Final Fantasy VI.
Yep.
But this is also where we saw one of the most shameless fucking like.
Oh my! It's one of my biggest pet peeves at con is people who take pictures of art rather than buying it. I just think it's so rude. Like, I mean, if you do it, I think you're rude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because it's basically like the artist is sitting there, and then you're basically saying, "Oh, I don't want to buy your art, but I will take a photo of it." Like, that's so freaking rude. So I don't like when people do that.
If you're gonna do anything, snap a shot of like their like logo
business card or their
or
logo.
A lot of them have QR codes now. Just get that, and then it will take you to their socials, and you can see their art there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy straight up just walked up, like took a photo, and then walked away, like pulled it out like shamelessly, and like I was like, like, could you be any more obvious?
Yeah, and it just sucks because you look at the artist's face and you just see them like get, because not all, I mean, some of them are just starting out. Some of them, like, maybe they don't have the greatest art yet and they're still building their skills up. So, just going out there and being there, it's really hard. And it's like, it's sad when you see them like their faces like instantly drop when someone just takes a photo rather than like actually buying their art. Like I feel it sucks. I feel really bad for the artists. I don't know if they feel it's a pet peeve, but it does bother me when I see people do that. Just buy the art or appreciate it from a distance and follow them on Twitter or like Instagram or wherever their art is easily accessible.
Unfortunately, though, I think we didn't see a whole lot of that. We did see a booth, though.
No, we didn't. Thankfully,
I did see like by far the greatest like art booth ever, and it was literally an entire booth of art, but it was all Stitch.
Oh my god!
Everything was Stitch.
That one. I'm sorry, but like, why Stitch?
Why not?
Of all creatures, why Stitch? Like. And I guess, like, I was reading, too, like, his son, and, like, he's worked on so many, like, big animation projects. I'm like, and now you just draw Stitch. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, also, like, some of them are really fucking weird. And I was like, this makes me uncomfortable.
I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I'm like, wait, everything is Stitch.
And then I remember him, like, trying to, like talk, and I was just like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry. I think this is really fucking weird. I mean, everyone has what they're into, but like, that's just what Stitch. It's so fucking weird. I'm sorry. I cannot say it. It was fucking weird. But
there was also some artists that like. So, like, some of the art, for day, I bought up art on both days because I really didn't buy anything mega art day 2. I mostly just bought art.
Yeah.
My day one, I bought like a couple pieces. I bought 4 pieces of artwork, which I was
I bought 3. Yeah, because I also went to that One Piece artist and I got a spoiler Gear 5
yeah.
artwork and a cool Luffy's devil fruit, the Gomu Gomu fruit, and I got a pin of that, which is really cute.
Nah, so
I thought it was a keychain at first, but it's actually a pin, but I'm not mad about it.
I mean, it looked good either way. So
It does look really nice.
so day one, I got
But anyways,
4 pieces of art. I got this really awesome Your Name, like kind of like painting, which I like. I got this painting of Yor from Spy Family. I got this really nice fruit baskets painting, and then I got this painting of Kobeni from Chainsaw Man, which everyone really appreciated at the con, which I thought was funny.
Nice.
I didn't realize she was such a fan favorite.
Hey, she is. You know, her panic is all of our panic.
Yeah, but other than that, though, day one was we kind of left early, mostly because we were meeting.
Bill's tummy hurt.
Yeah, I ate something bad the night before, and like I was just having like the worst like grumbles.
Yeah, Bill wasn't feeling super great, but we did our shopping, and then I just took a bunch of photos in my cosplay. And then we headed out. Yeah, it was a good day. And then our friend Sunny ended up coming later that night. And then we just went out to dinner, and then we just kind of hung out for a bit. We started watching Record of Ragnarok, but I was so tired. I was
Alex
like,
straight up knocked multiple times during the watching of it.
I was so friggin' tired. I don't know what hit me. I think it was just like the stress, like because it was our first week like fully back at work.
Yeah, it was.
At least, I mean, Bill was back, but it was like the full swing of things. Everyone's there because our company had like a shutdown, which is pretty normal. But I think it was just like tiredness, and I was so tired. But the next day, we woke up for day 2. Sunny and I cosplayed, so we like kind of woke up a little earlier to get ready. And then we all hopped in the car and we were like, we're kind of hungry. Let's go get some breakfast. So in cosplay, we went and got breakfast, which we did look very silly, but it was fun.
No one questioned it.
Got back.
Nobody questioned it.
Well, no, I think one of the baristas was like, "Are you guys going to a convention?" We were like, "Yeah." Well, Sunny was like, "Yeah." So.
That's also where Sunny totally sniped you on the paint.
Wait.
What?
We forgot the parking story.
Oh yeah, right.
We mentioned it. So, all right, rewind back to Bill's tummy hurt. So Bill's stomach was hurting. So we were like, okay, let's go leave early. We're going back to the car, and Bill's like, oh yeah, we're on the 4th floor. And then we go. We're walking around. I'm like, Bill, I don't see your car anywhere. So we go up to the next floor, walk around. I was like, Bill, I still don't see. We could not find Bill's car. We probably walked in that parking garage for at least 20-30 minutes looking for Bill's car because we didn't take a photo of where we were.
Yeah, and then we found it and it was like right in front of us. At one point we were like, oh.
But we found it and it was literally on the floor we first came out. We walked right past it.
Yeah.
It was so depressing.
Yeah. But anyways, so going back for day 2.
Always remember to take a photo of where your car is.
Yeah. The funny part is, though, we weren't the only ones that clearly lost our cars because there was other people looking for their cars.
Yeah. So, but we did find it eventually. And the second day we're going, drive same. We got breakfast, drive same, quick. We get there. I had a cape with my cosplay, so Bill and Sunny were helping me put the cape on, which was a struggle in the parking lot, but I did it.
And then we got quite the shock because the thing with conventions normally is Saturday's the day where everyone goes, and then Sunday's kind of like the leftover day where like barely anyone shows up, and it's usually a chill day. It was packed, like just as much as it was before.
Oh yeah, like it was kind of nuts how packed it was.
So we could have theoretically just walked right in because we had our tags, but we weren't gonna make Sunny, our friend Sunny, like we weren't gonna make her wait in the line by herself.
Yeah.
So we sat through the line again just to be good friends. And oh my god, so we didn't have our good buddies this time to make it enjoyable. It was just me, Alex, and Sunny.
No.
And oh my god, the girls behind us were the biggest bitchy girls I think I've ever seen.
Oh my! Well, it was a mom and a daughter,
Was it? Oh.
and like and
I
like
didn't
really,
look.
the
I thought it
mom
was just.
trying to. It was like every time we moved, they tried to cut in front of us, and I was
noticed
like,
that.
"What the?"
There was one point where they got
And
right
then-
in front of us, and I was like, "All right, we're just gonna straight up walk past them."
No, there was literally one point where they started walking in front of us, and I literally sidestepped, walked right in front of them, and then we proceeded to be a like at first we were kind of like, crowd, like a little crowd, and then we just created a wall, and we were like, "You shall not pass."
Oh, but the
bitchy lady."
entire time they complained about everything.
Oh my god. Well, I think everyone there was complaining, and I'm like, yes, it's a long line, but also like it's not that big of a deal. Stand in the line
To be,
or go home.
I do think,
like, what are you
I know.
gonna do?
I do believe though that like the staff was not prepared for the amount of people.
No, but like it's honestly they did a great job for not being prepared because really it still went just as fast as yesterday, as the day before, and like it really the only thing that it was just I think honestly it was just surprising that there was that many
Yeah,
people.
well,
there.
they were surprised because they were like they had to constantly come out and damage control, basically that being like this is unprecedented. The poor guy was trying his best to keep it calm. I'm like, dude, at this point you should just go back in because you're not helping.
Well, especially that guy too. Like the guy he was like trying to calm down. It was like he's too far gone at this point.
The worst
like,
part too is that guy
going
was
into
almost
Karen mode.
almost there. He was like right at the end.
Yeah, we were like literally there, and it was like I don't know.
I liked his
just think
logic though. He
people-
was like, "Well, if you want to get in early, show up at 8." And it was like, they're like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess."
Yeah, it was like I mean, if that's the truth. If you want to be in early and not skip the line, I mean that's the usual protocol. But I don't know. People were just that day like it wasn't as fun in the
Well,
line.
no.
But I did not let that bitch cut in front of me. Fuck you.
I saw that because I remember looking over and like they're gonna try and cut us, and I saw you like,
And I was like, not gonna happen. I do not take getting cut in line seriously.
oh,
like
you didn't.
I take it very
You didn't
seriously.
see though, because I looked back at them when we left the line after because when we got to the door, obviously we weren't going to go through check-in again. So we left the line to go to wait for Sunny, and I looked back and they had this like the biggest stank face on that they saw the fact that we like waited and didn't actually have to wait.
I mean, like, but the thing is like, if you looked in that line, like, a ton of people in that line had badges.
Yeah, well, there was a few people who
Because,
found
like, the guy in front of us, like, did. Like, the guy in, whoever he was with, like, he was the same
I know.
boat. Like, he was there the day before and this friend wasn't.
My favorite was there was a few people though that like I don't know if you would notice this, but there was a few people that waited the entire way and they got to the end just to find out like they didn't actually have to go through the check-in again. They were like, "Wait, we could have just gone right in."
Oh,
I saw
those poor souls.
I saw that. I was like, "Oh no." I kind of felt bad for them. Not 100%, but
yeah.
I was kind of like,
100%, but a little bad. So day 2 is really fun.
oh yeah,
too.
because I ditched this time because I had to pee really bad.
Yeah, Bill ditched me, so I was just kind of sitting there like waiting for Sunny, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm by myself. I'm afraid of
because
people."
when we were waiting in line, I had a large coffee and I was just drinking
you
it.
were slurping. Oh, donut update.
Oh yeah, the donuts
they were
were
there,
there,
but they were on the
day
ground.
2, and it was gross.
They were on the ground.
Yeah, but I had to pee really bad, and then I got to the bathroom and there was a fucking line, and there was like, but the best part, there was a line for the men's room, which was annoying because like nobody said that the urinals were open the entire time, and I just had to pee. So like I get up to the front, I'm like, there's nobody. I'm like, really, guys? And I just fucking went.
Yeah, there was a lot of times too at the convention where like I almost felt like I had to shepherd people, like because at one point we're in like I don't know if it was like the first day or the second day, but at one point like people weren't queuing like around the corner, and I was like, "Come here, we'll queue, and more people can move forward at once." And it was like, wow, to some people. So I don't know. I think people just kind of get in there.
Well, some people are also just really awkward.
Yeah, Yeah, no, a little bit of that too.
My
but
favorite thing though
yeah,
was
Sunny and I were waiting a bit for you.
well, yeah, because there was a line and no one was like saying that the urinals were open. Because eventually one guy cut from the back and went right to the urinal. I was like, wait a minute, and I looked forward and the urinal was
Wait.
empty. And I was like, really, guys?
Really? We're doing
But
this?
the best part was there was a guy in like the bathroom who was like changing cosplays, and he was narrating every single moment of what he was doing. And it was like, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I thought you were gonna talk about some guy like taking up.
No. He was straight up changing, and he was like narrating everything he was doing, and I was just like, I'm like, buddy, this is funny, but some people are not going to appreciate it.
Yeah, but once we got all settled and situated in, we did some walking around with
Oh,
Sunny,
actually, before we
'cause,
do
like,
that, though, I want to say the best part about that was though, like some people at first thought he was a professional voice actor doing a bit, and one guy was like, because everyone was really interested at first, and then some guy was like, "So are you like a voice actor?" Or something? He's like, "No, I'm just a guy," and everyone immediately was like, "Oh," and just like
interest lost.
the day turned on him real fast, and I was just like, "I'm like, I don't know, guys, it's kind of funny."
It was a little fun. I wasn't there, but sure.
So yeah, day 2 was pretty good. Just as crowded. Honestly, it was kind of more crowded.
Yeah.
In the
I mean, it might have just seemed that way, but it was pretty fun.
You know what I think it was?
Really good cosplays.
I think it was because there was a lot more like diversified cosplays, including a lot of furries, which scared Alex.
Yeah, well, it's not the furry. I mean, the furry culture. I'm not gonna lie, it weirds me out a little bit. I mean, you do you. If it makes you happy, great. But it it just gets weird to me when they start like playing with like a ball or something, and I'm like, all right, it's getting across that line where I'm uncomfortable. But it really all stems from I just don't like things in costumes like that. Like any mascots, like I remember vividly, like our mascot for the Patriots is Pat the Patriot, and if you look up a picture of Pat the Patriot, you'll know why I fear them because why does he look like that? He's terrifying, and all of them are. So I hate them.
Well, you didn't
I
like.
want them to. I don't like them, and that's why I don't like furries. And then, like, once I learned
like
about
Charlie
the
the Cougar?
weirdness of furries, no,
You didn't like Charlie the Cougar?
No, I didn't. I didn't like that. I don't like things in costumes. Even like my school, like my college, had like Gompy the goat, and I didn't like Gompy either. He freaked me out. I don't like things in costumes. I don't know who's in there. Who's in there? Is there a pedophile in there? I don't know. Who knows?
This explains.
Or like also, you know what also freaks me out is we went on that New York trip in high school, and you know how New York Times Square, they have all those people in the really fucked up costumes that suck, and they like try and bribe, like they force you to pay them, like if you take a picture with them. I think that helps it too. I don't like things in costumes like that. It freaks me out.
It's kind of
that
illegal.
is my TED talk.
You can't.
Well, they do
you
it
can't
anyways.
take a picture and then extort people. You have to be upfront with that. But whatever.
Well, I think you go in knowing that, but not everyone does, so it's kind of a tourist trap. Anyways, we're getting off track. But yeah, there was a lot of furries, but Sunny was also uncomfortable by the furries. But for some reason, no matter where we went, the same group of furries always appeared, and we were like, "Please, go away!"
Oh yeah, because I was questioning at one point why you guys journeying through the art gallery was so random, because like you would like go through the same section multiple times.
Escape the furries.
See, you guys were like afraid to pass the guy. I just walked through him. I was like, I don't give a shit. And I was just
we just wanted to avoid at all costs. Well, we wanted to try and I think our thought process was like, if we step back, then maybe they would go ahead of us, and then we'd lose them. But then somehow they always appeared again, and we were like, no, not the furries.
Also, like during this point too, you guys were like, when you guys were doing that, I eventually just kind of went off on my own because I was like, I'm not playing this stupid game right now. And because I was actually trying to find a booth that had a very specific piece of artwork that I saw day one, which was like the only booth that had Persona art.
Yeah,
well,
your Yukiko
Persona
figure.
4 art, I should say. Because
not figure art piece.
Because I'd seen it on day one and I forgot to get the painting on day one, so I was like trying to find it, and lo and behold, of course, it was the last booth I checked because that's just how it works. But I ended up getting 3 pieces of art from that booth because I liked some of their other paintings. Because I got the Yukiko art. I also got this really hilarious Yuri from Doki Doki Literature Club, which is very dark because it's like the scene of her stabbing herself, which is great.
Wonderful.
And then I got this nice like ruby artwork, which I liked.
Yeah.
Because most of these booths have like buy 2 get 1 free deals, and it's like you might as well get the 3rd piece of art because you're already paying for 2. So
yeah, a lot of them do that. And on Sunday, what I noticed was a lot of them were trying to doing even more deals because they were just trying to sell a lot of their stuff.
Yeah, because it didn't look like the art gallery sold as much this year.
I don't think it was set up very
well. No,
well.
it wasn't.
I
It was
think that
very
really
crowded
comes down-
and very hard to get through.
That is one thing I do give Anime Boston. It is really nice that
They
like,
have a
the
separate
vendor booths
art
is
gallery.
separate from the art.
Well, they also had
And that's the only reason why I'm tempted to maybe go back to Anime Boston. Just because that is really nice. And maybe if it's not as crowded, it might be worth it.
maybe, or maybe even like Rhode Island Comic Con had a better setup, but
oh yeah, or that new anime Rhode Island Anime Con. I wanted to do that, but it's literally this weekend, and I was like, I can't do another con literally the weekend after a con. It's too much.
Even Retro World has a better art gallery because they have some art as well.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because it's in the same floor and they just use the space so much better.
They just use it differently. But after that, we ended up
not
going
yet
to
because
the other side.
I did buy one other art because I remember I bought I bought the 3 paintings.
You degenerate! You bought the
so there was this one booth that was like the person I swear was like always not there whenever I wanted to buy the paintings from it. Because they had a really awesome Kaguya-sama painting like that I really liked. And like I swear every time I walked by, they were just never there, and I'm like, they must either be always on break or like in the bathroom constantly. But
or you just have really bad time.
Yeah, but they were eventually there, and I went to go finally get it because I was like, oh good, there's no line either. And I kind of understood why there was no line because I looked at her other art and I was like, oh, like there was some erotic art up here.
Porn. No.
Because I wanted the Kaguya-sama one, and it was also a buy 2 get 1 free, and I was very much like, all right, it's too good a deal to pass up. So I was looking around to see what she also had that was not titties everywhere.
Titties and ass.
Yeah, that she really liked that in her art. Even in like the ones I got that were pretty clean, it's still very prevalent. But I got the Kaguya-sama one, which is this really nice. It's like a shot of Kaguya and Mayuki. I also got this slime painting, which was Shizu and Rimuru, which I really enjoyed. And then I got a Rising of the Shield Hero one, which had Raftalia and now
Raftalia and Emo Nafu.
Yeah, because he's facing away from it. You good?
Yeah.
You all right there?
Yes. I was trying to see if I could find one of the photos I saw from the cosplay to send you, but then I clicked on a video by accident and went, shit, and my sound was up.
But yeah, then after that, we went to the other half. So one of the things I feel like that Connecticon doesn't manage the best is their space, because they cram all of the art galleries into one half of the convention center. And then they have like this cafeteria / arcade / wrestling ring.
And also famous people signing.
Oh yeah, that's also where they kept all the signing spots.
Yeah.
Well, because all their upstairs space they used as like the panels.
They basically took the big space, but it was really just like one panel space. Like it was just a really big space. Maybe there was other smaller ones, but majority was that big panel space.
And we walked in for 1 second and turned around because we were like, nah.
You're like, nope.
I don't really enjoy panels in general just because I don't like being crammed in a room like that. I'm going to a panel for Retro World though, just because our good buddy Josh is doing one, and I'm going to support his panel. But that's for Retro World. We'll definitely be talking about.
That's for Retro World. We'll pod about that when that comes.
But anyway, so yeah, the other half of their floor was really weirdly laid out because you had the meet and greet section with all the famous actors and stuff. Then you had the arcade, which was not as well set up this year as it was the first year one, because the first year we went, it was really nice. Like you go in and they had all these different game consoles just right out in the open.
It was really nice too because like we showed up so freaking early, which is why we showed up later this time. And we were like, what do we do?
So we played Mario
we just
Kart.
played video games the whole time. And it just really
know what's
started my
hilarious?
hatred for the N64.
I just realized that predated the N64 episode.
It did. And I remember playing it and also saying, why the fuck is the controller like this? Because the N64 sucks and no one can change my mind. Jaguar forever, bitches!
Anyways, so yeah, then while we were kind of going through there to see what was going on, we discovered that they were having cosplay wrestling.
Hell yeah, and it was awesome.
It was something. All right. So we only watched the first 3 rounds because realistically, we only wanted to see the third round.
Yeah, though I will say the first 2 were pretty.
So the first one was Bane versus the Flash, and it was about as ridiculous as you could imagine. 2 cosplayers doing this. Like Bane cheated and killed Wally West or Barry Allen, whichever one. Probably Barry Allen at this point.
Whoever deserves it the most.
Well, I'm not going to get into Flash lore right now. The second fight.
Flash lore.
That's a long explanation. The second booth was the second fight was Wolverine versus Ryu from Street Fighter, and this Wolverine was so unnecessarily extra, like about everything. But it was a funny fight because Ryu just kicked his butt.
Also, the Wolverine shorts.
It was like
they were very.
It was
short.
like Wolverine if he was having a midlife crisis and he was like he'd kind of gone through some rough times. It was a really funny fight.
The best part was the overacted Hadouken.
Oh yeah, everything.
Which were so entertaining.
Everything about that fight was hilarious. And then the best one, the one we really wanted to see, was Thor versus Master Roshi.
Master Roshi!
And this one was funny because the guy playing Thor was clearly doing Endgame Thor, which is like after like the world goes to shit and he's drunk.
Fat Thor.
I'll give the guy credit; he played it really well.
He did.
And they joked because like they played it up really good because they were joking, be like, he's like, I'm not gonna fight Master Roshi. This guy's ancient, and then the Master Roshi just kicks his butt the entire time.
And guess who won?
Yeah, he kidnapped
Mr. fucking Roshi.
He kidnapped a staff member and then taped him to Thor. It was great. And then the staff member wanted to fight him.
It was really good. Like that was so funny. And we didn't watch any of the other ones after that. We were like, all right, we got our fill.
Well, because we saw the next one was Wario versus Green Lantern, and I was immediately like, how are they going to do Green Lantern? Nothing about that would even be like remotely entertaining because it's just how Green Lanterns work. And then the Wario cosplayer was Biker Wario from Game & Watch, but it was like this like skinny guy, and I was like,
yeah, it was Wario.
I was like, damn, Wario's looking good.
Wario is a chunky man, a chunky meatball man. That was not my Wario.
Yeah, so we didn't stick around for that one, and we basically hung around because the convention ended really early. It was like at 3.
Oh yeah, it ended at 3, so we bounced at like 2:30, I think, because we were like, I don't want to sit in this mob that's about to happen. So we came outside, took some pictures of our cosplays, and yeah, and we kind of pieced out after that because like it literally we left and then we got home and it literally ended like a little after when we got home. So
and then
but we probably left at the best time.
Yeah, we got right out of the
because even then people were already starting to migrate to leave.
Yeah, we got lost in the city because I took a wrong turn. It was great. And then we
did?
Yeah, because you remember we got directed.
Oh, it wasn't super lost though.
Well, no, it was just kind of like we were completely out in this weird spot. I'm like, I don't know where I am. Crap.
Well, the garage exit took us out a different one than the first day.
Yeah.
Which the first day takes you right to where we get on the highway. Second day, not so much. So you had to find it, but we did.
Yeah.
And now I'm sleepy.
It happens.
Good night.
But yeah, then we came home and unloaded the spoils of war, and Sunny
we also
went
got
home.
frames.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did buy. I bought like $80 worth of picture frames this weekend.
Well, the thing that made me laugh the most is like the first day, Bill was like, "Oh, we can just stop on the way home," and I just look at him and I'm like, "Bill, I'm in full Luffy cosplay. I
See,
am not going to the fucking store
we
right
think in
now."
different ways because I would have gone in full cosplay. I wouldn't have cared.
No, I did care. I didn't want to go in the store fully like that. But if it was like a store we stopped at that wasn't the one we go to every single, like, that is our local store, maybe.
I went to back
but
when we were living back still at home. I went to our local Dunkin' Donuts dressed full like Android 18, and and people were like, "What the fuck?" But I didn't care.
yeah, but that's like more reasonable. But anyways, we got frames. I hung up my 2 Dora posters in my downstairs and then my Luffy poster upstairs. Now I have 2 Luffy actually I have like 4. Anyways, I like Luffy's my favorite One Piece character.
Clearly,
Luffy is my favorite.
yeah. But anyways, so other than that, though, it was.
But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching.
I was gonna say it was a fun con. A little.
It was, and we'll come back next year.
I think it was. My only real complaints were I think not the management, but the layout of it wasn't great. Could have used some work, but other than that, though, I enjoyed it. I maybe a little more like variety and stuff next year.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we're going.
I think a little more variety and stuff. But hey, remember, this was the con that brought us. Do you have the boba tea?
Oh yeah, and do you have Wii games?
It brought us those famous, wonderful statements. So happy to go. It was a successful con weekend, and we'll probably go again next year. But if we don't, it's because we're going to the Rhode Island Anime Con next year or something.
But the next con we're going to is Retro World.
And I'll be cosplaying as something very particular for a person because they slandered them. And I will fight them.
No, you won't.
I will. If they cause more slander, maybe I will.
Well, yeah. Anyways, so like, what's fun is like we're going to Retro World because that's just our convention that we go to every year. Yes. And Josh from Still Loading is going to be there, which will be really nice to see him in person. And then our good buddy Schnickerman's also going to be there, so that's
Schnickerman.
I love how you just say it so dramatically now.
It's the only way to say it. Do not slander Schnickerman.
God, you guys posted the most insane Kermit shit on the server today, by the way. And I was so confused.
Kermit. I love all. I don't know why, but there's just a lot of suicidal Kermit gifts out there.
Yeah, and it's kind of disturbing.
You know, you're disturbing. God damn it! I forgot about this stupid cream of the crop.
But anyways, guys, once again, thanks for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. The Gaming and Collecting Podcast can be found on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. We are made on Spotify for podcasters, and we are part of the GNC Podcast Network, which has its own Discord server you can join and see all the wacky Kermit shit and crazy cursed memes. Yeah, and you can find all of our applicable links at linktree/thebarbecue-games. But until next time, guys, we will see you all next time.
No cream of the crop here. Get out.
All right, Macho Lady.
Yeah!